All right, time to get started here. Working on some Game Jam game tonight for the GDevelop Big Game Jam 8. So, gonna get into it. Don't have a lot of time. It's due this weekend. It's a 9-day jam, I think. All right, just going over some stuff here in the game. Trying to get some of the layout fixed up a bit. Right now I've got the background moving. Hey, Code. Yeah, doing pretty well. We saw a Christmas tree lighting tonight, so that was a lot of fun. How are y'all doing? Yeah, they started pretty early. I don't really know why. It was the Oklahoma City Oklahoma City Christmas tree lighting. So I don't know. Guess they just consider it the start of the holiday season or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty hot. It was like a 70, 80 degree Fahrenheit day over here. So didn't exactly feel like a wintry, snowy Christmas, but it was still fun. They had some simulated snow, aka bubbles. So we'll see how far I can get tonight on this. I feel like getting pretty low on time, honestly, but I'm hoping to do quite a bit tomorrow and definitely Saturday. Haven't done as much as I was hoping to up until this point, so I appreciate you putting the mini games together. Oh yeah, and in fact, we're already started on our Christmas movies playlist as well. We've knocked out Elf, Christmas with the Cranks with Tim Allen, and they're watching something right now. Then we got like the Home Alones, and the list goes on. And the Santa Claus trilogy. Violent Night was not too bad. That's good to know. All right, so I'm trying to figure this out. It probably has something to do with the camera, but let me go back here. I changed the zoom again. If I go back to zoom, let's say 1. I put the background, I put all the floor objects on a different layer, basically a background layer called floor. And they're moving basically with the player character, which we don't want. And I'm trying to remember what the fix for that is. So instead of moving with the character, I want them to stay still. The problem was that even if I change the Z order, they seem to conflict with the player's Z order and cover the player character. Well, the player is on base layer, and I selected all instances of the floor and put them on floor layer right here. So now they're not above the character. Character is base layer, Z order 50. Floor objects are all -5 floor layer. If I put them all on the base layer, which would otherwise be fine. So if I do that, select all instances of the floor, put them on the base layer, set them to Z order, say -5, and hit play. Something odd going on here. Still need to fix some of these doors too. In fact, maybe it's not the floor. Let me double check something. I wonder if it's a trigger. Maybe. I'd set the background to red because everything was all black, so it's kind of hard to tell what was what. Hide triggers at start. Let's try that. That seems to work. And then did I put... Put the floors back on the base layer. Oh, man. Would layer 0 suffice? Is there... Maybe it doesn't like negative Z orders? It's so odd. So that is happening like right there. And let me see. Does it even matter which room I'm in? And why are these walls thrown off too? It shouldn't be complicated stuff. I'm just finding some oddities. So those are there. These walls are poking through. Oh, maybe it's that wall. Maybe. Yeah, you know, just things that should be normal, and then they like to give you a hard time. I just wanted to get these things sorted out and then get the mini games put in. Yeah, it seems to be this. Anytime I hit this Y coordinate. These doors are not final either. I'm putting in a different asset for those. Maybe just put everything on base layer and use an order at start to set order. Yeah, it's pretty odd. Let's just try something like that. Not a lot of time to figure it out, so maybe we can just brute force it. Let's do a for each. And then player. Just to be safe, I don't even know what Z order to put it. Let's just pick one. For now. Oh, in fact, we have hide triggers, but 1,000 for the player. There was actually a reason I thought about for the player to be. There are certain doors. It actually looks better if the player is behind. It's not a big deal, but like if I go to the horizontal doors, it actually looks better if the player is slightly behind it because of the feet. Try disable the external layout to see if that does anything. For the map. Yeah, where did that go? UI, map. Wait, where is it? Oh, at the start of the scene for the... Oh, gotcha. No good. Let's see, what Z... Let me see what Z order that is. I mean, I guess I could take a quick guesstimate if I just point at the screen here. That's about... right about here, about Y200. And it happens all the way across, even if I go down here. Let me double check. Let's playtest just a little more. So if I go out to the right, go up, disappear. I thought that I reappeared at some point. My head's poking through right there. It's so odd. I can see myself right there. So it's the floor tiles are covering the player. Nothing else. What in the world? Those floor tiles are on Z order 0. And then in the game, I explicitly set them to 0. I guess I could also explicitly set them all to base layer just to be safe. Wait, you are missing walls also above console? Also, I'm running into something right here. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm running into the wall. So they exist. It's like the floor is covering those walls. What the heck? And there's a door here that's covering that too. What the heck? All right, let's see here. All right, so we're dealing with 1920 by 1080. Hide floors to test. Yeah. I mean, I think it's the floors. I don't understand. It's a tiled sprite. Nothing crazy. These are also, the walls are tiled sprites. They're acting just fine. I think I gave them Z order or Y sort. Wait, is that the problem? No, I didn't give them anything. They have no effects, no variables, no behaviors. No excuse. They're just naughty. They're getting coal for Christmas. Good grief. Why is this door so bad? Yeah, I put them on the base layer because I was struggling with them moving. I mean, if we can figure out my alternative solution, which was put them on the lower layer, I think that if we do that, we can see the player the whole time. But then I need to figure out how to prevent them from moving. Oh, you know what? I moved this out here. That shouldn't be there. Oops. Whoa. Yeah, now it's... Oh, well, the player is at a pretty high Z order. I'm not sure if that's going to work. The player has Y sort, so I'm not sure if that's going to screw it up. Yeah, and oddly enough, the player still disappears. And those walls do too. It could be a Y sort thing, but I just don't know. I don't know why it would be on just the areas up above and not down below. Wow, even that didn't work. Oh. Well, it should still be 0, but... There's not even a floor under these walls. Now try and collision with floor, then set in order. This is odd too, isn't it? I'll try that. That's a good idea. Isn't this odd though? It's hiding these walls, but there's not even anything under them. And it's hiding the console. Well, now I can see the wall. no, wait. No, it's the wrong wall. What am I looking at here? We're looking at... This should be the first set of walls and then the door. Yeah, I guess. Let's look at the player behavior. So there's wide sort, and they have that, you know, for wide sort reasons, like moving around a console, moving around a wall. Like, I could see if disabling that fixes the floor issue. It does seem to. Well, that's frustrating. Because it works well with other things like, you know, it looks good. But I suppose if we can have it just on the floor, I mean, just on the walls, that would be fine. As long as the floor isn't hiding the walls. What's going on over here? Yeah, it's hiding the wall there. So, let me make sure the floor isn't overlapping walls. Like right here. Yeah, that must have been the issue. Try floor set to 100,000 for testing. With Y-sort on the player. Oh, negative. So far, so good. Oh, we need to add some floor there real quick. So far, so good. that wall looks a little rough. Obviously, I probably shouldn't spend too much time. I mean, I don't know. I keep thinking about the layout. It's like, are we going to maybe shorten some corridors? But probably, to be honest, I'm thinking what we have is what we have is what we've got, right? Because I don't think we have that much time, especially since we really want to focus on the actual mini games and the flow of the game. So I probably shouldn't futz too much about if we change anything, because maybe we just should plan to not change the layout. Keep the layout. So yeah, I mean, probably just fix it now, right? Official Enhancer, welcome back. How's your evening going? Well, my evening's going great. Just got back from a Christmas tree lighting in the city and working on a game jam game. It's due this weekend. Lost in Code's working on it with me. I've got some coffee in my mug. Life is good. Life is good. The Z order of things has been a little bit not so good. All right. All right, Code, I think that is good enough for now. Let's save what we've got. I think we're working. I think we're in business. Let me see, why is that one still weird? Let me update. Okay, that fixed that. You have a smart idea? Tell me what your smart idea is, and I'm going to be right back. Someone's heading out the door. Tell us the idea. All right, and I am back. Yeah, let's get the core loop in place. Cool. So, all right, let me save what we've got here. What is the first one we want to put in? Because you sent over these. And are these the same ones that are in the zip file? All right, so let's close this. Okay, cool. Cool beans. Realize the rotation lock has bad hitbox for the rings. You changed them, but then crashed, so it reverted. Okay. The rotation lock. Yeah, so why don't we start with the bobby pin? Let me see. Oh, I see. They both kind of rotate, so it confused me for a second. Pop lock? Rotation. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with pop lock. The pop lock scene, rather. I wonder if there's a way to copy events across. Probably not. The bobby pin fails if you go past the point or click too early. Right. Wonder if I can save this to the cloud. If I can save this, unless I open a different instance of GDevelop here, maybe I can do that. Not sure it's gonna work though. Maybe. Okay, let me close out of it here. Oops. I just closed out of my YouTube chat. 1 second. Yeah, I might use the web version for one. It has a non-signed in browser version for one of them, which might work. Let me see. So for this is the signed in one. Let me close out of the file here. Minimize that. Then on the non-signed in one, let me see if I can open the file for the mini games. I'm going to drag that. Actually, I'll leave it here. Then the signed in one. Let's open our main game. Final 5. Was Final 5 a selected name, or was that like a name that the engine gave it? Oh, 5 minutes. Gotcha. Nice. Okay. So you have individual scenes for that. So if we're going to go out to other scenes, we'll probably need to save things like the timer and the Boolean for the timer. Okay. Let's rename this. Thinking an external layout. So keep it in the main scene and use an external layout. Because I'm good with that too. Yeah, okay. So in that case, let's stay within, we can use, I guess, external events and external layout, huh? Call it bobby pin. All right, let's see if we can do this. Cool. It did let me copy the event, so that's going to be super useful. Let's see if I can copy absolutely everything. Okay, that made quick work of the events. I just need to make sure I've got everything in here. So we need a... What do we need here? Lock child. Yeah, that saves a lot of time. I thought it was going to be a lot of hand jamming it out, but your hard work has gone smoothly. All right, what kind of size are we talking here? On your game, you've got a 30 by 30 for the block child. Cool, got it. Obviously, we'll get something in here for these. But let's get them into the game functionally. And did you set points or anything? Yeah, you centered the origin, and then collision mask is default. All right. Center point and all. I'm going to create a folder for these. Okay. Then we need, can I basically duplicate it? Actually, did you have, let's see, behavior, variable, effects? Okay, none. Lock, center. Apart from the pin. Good night, Riley Parker. Thanks for joining. Thanks for lurking. Always appreciate you. We need a bobby pin. Riley Parker, we're using a bobby pin in this game. $300 by 15. How many of these do we need? You know what I could technically do? It doesn't really matter that much at the moment, but I could technically just... Let me see if I can locate these things. So we've technically got your sprites right here. Boom. And then what are the points here? Ooh, we got a lot of points. Origin 0, 7.5. You have a point called point at 200, 7.5. CW 177, 113. Not CW 171. What is CW? Got some variables here. Active, Boolean false. Oh, clockwise. Okay. What's next? We've got clockwise spawn, which is that top right one. Hit the collision mask on that one. 0, 0, 400, 0, 468, 0, 69. I feel like cheating. I feel like I'm cheating on a test or something. Let me look at your homework, bro. No, I won't make it obvious. All right, there's that. Oh, I need to name it. One was bigger. Oh, no. Let's see. This one is 400. It's in a 400 by 400 grid. And then this is... Oh, you're right. That's 200 by 200. All right, we can change that. You have a lot of those, actually. Let's see. That's called New Sprite 7 over in your game, so I guess it's this one. In fact... Okay, this is the 400 by 400 one. Let me just double check the points and stuff. Oh, gotcha. That looks correct still. That's not correct. All right, that's better. Then... not clockwise spawn, which is also a 400 by 400. Oh, need to change the actual sprite. All right. Through 18, 400, 321, 400, 400. Hit the points. Still good there. And I think that's that. Oh, just rotate it. Yeah, I guess I could have done that instead of doing it the hard way. That would have been smart. Correct UI. Is this also a 30? Looks like it is. Anything else on there? Oh, you have a lot of different things on there. Do these other ones have animations? No, okay. All right, let's add some animations then. So that's empty. Full. Unlocked. And then the story of my life. Fail. And let's add those sprites in. So that's like a white one. For full. I'll be right back. All right. I am macaroni and cheese. Thank you. For the fuse box game, you might want to increase the size of the hitbox for the colors. Make it easier for mobile, can keep the visual size, but just have the actual sprite be a bigger area. Yeah, that sounds fine. For the fuse box game, you're talking about the one where you connect the wires? So I was wondering about a modification we might consider. Because I'm thinking, and let me know if you have any other thoughts on this, but it's basically like, you know, super easy. Obviously, the biggest concern is time. You want to do it quickly, right? But instead of just simply connecting blue to blue, green to green, what if we did something like something kind of trippy? This would be almost more for, it'd probably be easier for people who are colorblind, but for people who can see colors kind of normally, if you do like, yeah, do it several times. So definitely do, basically keep it exactly like you have. But what I'm wondering is if we take like, let me pull up a page here for a demonstration. I'll pull up Canva. Okay. Sorry for the flashbang here. In fact, let me make this a little bit better. What I was thinking is, what if you have like directions? Um, yeah, we could do shapes for the colorblind, you know, like X, O, dash, whatever. But, you know, obviously, since we're talking colors, it might be, well, I guess it would work for colorblind too if we do the symbols. But here's what's kind of on my mind. Instead of yellow to yellow, for example, what if we say yellow to green, blue to, maybe blue can go to blue, green would go to yellow, and whatever else we have, red, goes to green as well. And then, to make it even more trippy though, you actually color them not the correct color all the time. So it would be something like this. See what I'm saying? So if you're going fast, it might trip you up. Have to like pay attention to what you're doing. And then I guess if there's a symbol in there, you would just also have that as like the symbol, whatever. Oops. This would be like a dash. Whatever the symbol is. Anyway, that was just a thought I had. So basically, all it's doing is taking exactly what you have, but instead of going just literally blue to blue, it would be like you give it an assignment. But then to make it more trippy, we just color the text random colors. What are your thoughts on that? It's like you get to the fuse box. There's some directions there waiting for you. You got to follow the directions. Don't do the wrong wires. All right, let's keep rolling here before I run out of steam. And again, I'm going to do my best to get some stuff in here tonight, but definitely talking through this stuff with you is super helpful. So it still won't be a super long night, but I'm going to finish up work tomorrow and then get back on, and I'll be on the Discord too. But let's see, we're making good progress here. So that is all of those items. Did I get the points on this thing? Collision mask looks good. Points look good. Behavior variable effect, none of those. All right, apply. I think that's all of those items. There's a global object here. Main menu button. No, it sounds like a plan, man. Appreciate it. We're going to knock this out. All right, so do we still want this main menu button to be a global object? Just for the test to choose a new mini game. Okay, so maybe, I mean, we'll probably have to make it a little bit different. If we need that, we have it. Depends on how we set it up in this game. So let's see then. Let's go back to the bobby pin events. Animate orbit. Oh, we have a group here, I think. So let's actually take a look there. Oh, no? No groups? What are we talking about here? Oh, I didn't add the extensions. What else did I need? Button states. We are loading up on the extensions. Yeah. There we go. All right, we can disable probably the main menu thing right now. The variable count of lock center. We need that. Oh yeah, I missed those variables. All right, child, active, and count. Done. All right, so well, let me actually make sure all these are functional too. Looks like they are. And then up here, not so much at the beginning of the scene, but more like if begin bobby pin game is true or something. Right. So if we create maybe a variable. Game bobby pin active as a Boolean. And then use that as the condition. And then what, like then maybe use another Boolean to say whether or not it's set up. I'm just shooting off the cuff here. And change that variable. That way it triggers once. Need the external layout. Yeah, that would be helpful. Okay. I think we can set the background back to, let's make it like a dark navy or something for now. Yeah, then trigger once. If I have, would it not already just trigger once? Because I've got this, if variable is false, do the stuff and then set the variable to true. Do you think another trigger once is needed? Not sure if you can see this very well. Oh, sorry. Gotcha. Delays in the messages. All right, your test came through. Sweet. That's always annoying, isn't it? All right, external layout. Let's get... Oh, we need... Let's do a placeholder for now. Actually, no, let's see if we can get a... Let's put the stuff on the screen for starters. Lock center. .30 by 30 grid. Let's see, did I miss... What were the points on this? Shouldn't make a huge difference, but that should self-center at start. Okay, cool. Then let's get these guys on here. And then these are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 12 up. Oh, close. Kind of weird how sometimes they center and sometimes they don't. Yeah, so for that, I'm thinking almost like a tumbler lock would have maybe like 8 pins or something. Then if I take like, oh, cancel that. I guess it would be a sprite object. Like if I just make a big background for this. Don't maintain the aspect ratio. All right, I'm just trying to think ahead a little bit. So there's that stuff. 0A, 0A, 0A for black. Was that like a super dark gray? Or is that actual black? Because actual black is zeros, isn't it? Kind of a warm black. Nice. All right, let's see what we can do here. So we want, so that's the external layout. So once we have the bobby pin game active, we want to bring in the external layout. So what we could do is within the bobby pin external events, we could say if Actually, let me move these up maybe. Bring that in as a sub event. Then do we include the external layout here? Do you think this would work? So it would trigger once. Then we could have an if bobby pin. Yeah, we could do that. And then let's see if that works. So where did we put that? Let me think. Main scene. Collisions with triggers. Yes. Game bobby pin active is set to true. It would probably help if I include those events, huh? Well, that's not good. I can't see anything. Let's see. Let's go here. Include. What Z order should we put that at then? Probably like over everything, huh? I still can't see anything. Yeah, those aren't showing. I wonder if that's because of this thing. What if I delete that out? The center's showing. Okay, there we go. Well, if I can actually play the game. It's semi-working. Cool. Then I just need a thing to escape out of it, and then let's see. I'm thinking Let's go back. And all I was trying to do here was add a background to it. So let me change this background color so I can see what I'm doing. I had put this game background. I just want this to be behind everything. So if I send it back. No, it still hides everything. That's kind of annoying. So these guys are on 3, 6, 7, 8, whatever. Fail restarts the scene, I think. So we'll need to change that. Oh, yeah. Also, the reason I wanted to do this is so we could kind of see where we want to place it on the screen as well. Sweet. Then ideally all of that would come up over everything from behind it too. So how can we make it pop out, sort of? Because I kind of thought putting it at Z order at 1000 might work. Maybe I just need to change all of the individual items Z orders to something crazy. You added a variable check for the number if correct clicks. At the lock center count. Oh. Okay, so if the variable count of lock center equals 5, pick all instances of correct UI, change it to unlocked, wait 1 second, and change scene to pop lock. So change 5 to 8 if I'm doing 8, and then not change the scene, right? But instead, what? Like get rid of the... Can you just clear the external layout? I don't remember how that's done. Because, yeah, no, that makes sense. Oops. There, that seems to work. Create a group for all bobby pin objects and delete. That would work too. Yeah, come to think of it, I'm not sure I saw an option for that. But we can definitely do this the manual way. And then, so here we would have bobby pin objects. And that's all right, because game jams are definitely a time to not try to do things the absolute correct way. Just do them the functional way. Okay. On fail, you can delete, then replace. So we've got success down here. And we probably need like a scene variable to say if the game is passed, right? Let's see. Where do we say if we failed? Or delete the trigger. Or delete the trigger for the game and run what you need after it completes. Probably. In fact, I'm not sure. Okay, 2 above the success. Oh, pass child check. Oh, gotcha, right here. Change the animation set to fail. So instead of changing the scene here, let's do delete the objects. Let's see, we could do like delete the objects. Let's see, maybe even wait a whole second. And then what if we try this? Delete, then create the layout. I'm almost wondering though, and that's a good idea. I'm just wondering if instead of locking the player in, we basically just reset all of it. So we set everything back to false and set the game to not active. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if this works. So that you can kind of get out of the game and back into it. So if I fail it, well, I was supposed to delete. What if the player just stands on it? Does that count? Okay, that doesn't quite work. So F11. Not quite what I was going for. All right, if fail. Delete. Oh, maybe I need to do a for each. So for each bobby pin objects, delete them. Then change the variable. I guess I could just be up here too. And I think I got rid of a variable. Let's try this again. Go up, turn it on, fail. Boom. Should be able to activate it again. It's not activating again. Let's get back out of this. Actually, tell you what, let me double check which variable is not cooperating. Fail. Wait, what? That was different from the last one. Second trigger is due to how you set up the console. Oh. I'm wondering, because I got it to go away the first time around. So if it fails because you go too far, it deletes. But if you fail because you click too early, it does not delete. Fail. Let's search here. No worries. It's in the click events. Okay. Got it. Okay, and now you said there's something in the console, so let's take a quick look there. Yeah, and again, we don't need to change anything with the console because it's not necessarily where we're playing the game, right? So, where are we triggering this game? Well, might as well go ahead and get that set up. The actual game trigger. Sorry for the bright white screen here. Storage, okay. So do we need that little handheld device down there then? Let me get off that white screen. Why am I still seeing this thingy? Just images like Fallout style, as it's a bobby pin. We'll make it a digital looking lock. Yeah, we could do something like that. Just trying to set this up real quick. Why? We got a thing showing here. I don't want it to be shown. Hide that. Save. And let's see if we can find anything like this. Yeah, I guess keypad is more like it, right? Maybe like a, let's see, screen. That's a cool book. PDA tablet. That's a neat book. Look at that detail. Dang. Yeah, some talented people, all right. Let me think. We don't need anything. I mean, this is a kind of a. Oops. Like this is almost like a lock tumbler, right? We're kind of like toying around with this concept, aren't we? Where you're kind of hitting the pins. Is that about what we're thinking? In theory? Yeah, the one with the screen and keypad. But is this the underlying concept? But obviously in like a circle. So I'm wondering, because we can use the PDA tablet, but I wonder if we use that for a different challenge. Maybe for this one we just show a physical lock. And I have that other one downloaded as well. Let me see. I think it was a .obj. Wait, was it? No, GLB. Okay. Maybe. Let me see. Which one is this? Need a light. We have this. And then I think the other one you're talking about is a handheld. Terminal. What's the terminal? kind of annoying. I wish there was a better way to not show all this. All right. Hide. See what I mean? So what I was going to say though is if you're using a bobby pin, you're unlocking a physical lock that's on something. Oh, we could use this at one point, maybe. So can I save it? Am I logged in here? All right, and then, but so what I'm looking for is, here's a door lock. That could be a maybe. For something. But Fallout style lock picking with this minigame. Yeah, let me pull up what you mean. Fallout. Yeah. It's like that in Skyrim as well, right? That's exactly right. So, yeah, that's what we need, a physical lock. So let's find a physical lock we want to use, and then we'll get it put in there. Yeah, I suppose it could be used multiple times around the map. Give us some more content. Let's see. Honestly, probably doesn't matter that much, but for storage, though, you were thinking you pick the lock for the manual door release. That then opens the lower storage and access to the first failsafe. Okay, so this is a manual door release. So the lock is on the door somewhere. Yeah. kind of already viewed those. Come on, there's got to be something better here. The sequence lock is your favorite? Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty fun. You know what would be really challenging is if every time you failed, it reset you all the way back. So even if you're on 2, you fail that one, it bumps you back to 1. Easily doable. Okay. Sweet. I like how I use the free filter and then it gives me a bunch of paid items. So I'll get something. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, it would be really awesome with more time and more levels for sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some ideas real quick, but trying to decide between putting one together real quick or just downloading one. But I can't find one that I really like. So free 3D. We haven't looked at this one yet, I don't think. And I have an account here. If I can grab a basic model, I can put any material on top of it. Nothing there. Yeah, not much on this site. Jeez. Yeah, I could do something like that too. So let's see, is this a paid one or is this? And then go to, actually let me copy this just in case I use this in any way. Copy the credits. You like the idea of all games use the handheld? Like the same handheld? The Game Boy would be great. I love that. All right. Well, I just want to pick one that we both like. Because I know I had that one the other day, that yellow one, and I thought I downloaded it. But it had a joystick on it, so I was wondering, do we still want to use that? Button pushing. Spacesuit. Could be this one here, actually. I might have found it. Let's find out. Yeah, I have this one. Whoa, it's kind of messed up. It's missing the shaders on it. Why is it missing? I see you plugging the handheld into a station or lock and accessing it through that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I had the handheld here. It's missing. There's something wrong with the shaders, but I don't have a folder with these things. Because they were supposed to be included in the file. So let me see if I can find those again. That is industrial control panel. Where did I find it? Is that the one you were wanting to use, though? What I'll do is I'll just try to find it. Sci-fi PDA might have some cool ones. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it, man. I know it was pretty decent. Oops, misspelled that. Is this just a sprite? You like that? That just gave me a JPEG. Huh. Yeah, it is a good area. I'm just wondering. 3D artist, 2D concept artist. It was made in Blender, but the download itself is a JPEG, which is useless. These are all JPEGs. What the heck? Tell you what, dude. Since we don't have a whole lot of time here, I'll do some browsing, see what we want to use for the actual art. Obviously, we're going for something kind of like we saw before, kind of like this. Could be on your arm like a Pip-Boy. Yeah, definitely could be. And honestly, I could take one that has stuff on the screen and get rid of the stuff on the screen too. Because we're going to put our own stuff on it, right? Because we'll have our games on it. We're not going to have all this data. But yeah, let me find a download. I just want to get something into the game right now that we can use. So how do I get this? How do I get this? I feel like the internet's trolling me right now. I'm getting JPEGs. I'm finding assets I can't find the download button for. But let's just go back to the placeholder in GDevelop. And the last thing I wanted to do before we finished up was get it to... I wanted something to trigger it. So we need like an object or something to trigger the console popping up on the screen, right? So when the player walks down... So we're trying to get through this first door, right? Have a trigger area that's on the second door. I'm not sure. So you said the second door, and then you said yeah. So this one, or go down one more. Oh, did I remove the first door? Okay, because there's this one, then this one, and then this one. We have a lot of doors. So here's what we're looking at. So 1, 2, 3, 4 doors before we get to the very bottom area. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where would we like the first challenge? The lock. The bobby pin lock. First door should be open to the corridor. And first warehouse door is open. After that, it's locked. Okay, so it looks like I need another one of these doors up here. And then... once you're inside the big room, it's locked. So what I'm wondering is, should I just throw in like a the warehouse should be only 2 rooms. So do you want me to take out like these walls here in the bottom room? These interior walls? Well, let's see. Yeah, it just showed the 2. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, just 2 warehouse rooms. I didn't even know there were so many in here. I don't know what happened. Why don't I just delete these out? We don't have that many challenges. Yeah, maybe. All right. So, that being said, I was wondering, so you walk down through these two doors, they're already open. Then I was thinking there's like something here. Basically, I could put a version of the console somewhere near the store, and when you're like within a short distance and you push E, it'll pop open the bobby pin game. So instead of using the console up above, we use something down here, which will be like the handheld. Does that sound all right to you? Okay. We've got this, man. We've got this. Yeah, for sure. It's a pretty interesting concept. It's pretty rough with your computer blue screening, and we basically lost Blaze because his computer's not really working. It's definitely rough. But I mean, I was able to get your events, and I can copy those in and everything. You know, just I think the amount of content just won't be what we want. All right, so player distance to bobby pin interact is below 100 pixels. Let's just go ahead and say, and then key released E. Then we will do the bobby pin active. Let's give this a try. I'm not sure if that was enough. Oh, that was weird. That was weird. Even if it's story laid out rather than exploration style. Yeah, for sure. Put the game on the UI layer. No, that's true, yeah. I need to create a UI layer. I mean, map layer should work too, I suppose, but let's see. UI. Yeah, either way, we'll get it. That's fine. It's like tweening over. Oh, center camera on, lock center. That one there. Okay. All right, so that basically works, although I'm not seeing the yellow dots. Let's figure out why. Because I think if I play it from the top... Oh no, I'm not seeing up there now either. What in the world? Click. Oh, well, now I see it. What in the world? Except not that time. Background Y order. No, Z order. Does the background, but it shows up sometimes. Whoa, look at that. We've got the coolest bugs. Run. Yeah, I can freeze the player. What are you thinking, like disable top-down movement? And then you can set the Z order. Set the Z order of childs in the startup action, where it creates the children at the start has a Z order. Oh, Bobby Pin variable is active. Set player max movement to 0. That works too, actually. Oh, it's baked in. I see what you're saying. Okay, so they're creating on the base layer. Should this be the UI layer now? UI layer, and then what do we want for the Z value? Like a higher... like 100 or something? Oh no. All right, that one worked. And then if I hit E, actually, I don't think I did all the reset. And go back in there. E, and then still let me walk around, so let's do the movement speed thing instead. I don't even know what we had the speed set to. $500. Should probably just make that a variable at some point. You had movement behavior tied to doors open and close. If you're using animation, you can remove that stuff. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this takes care of this piece of it. Just trying to make it so I'm going to push E. See if I can move. I cannot move. Click, play the game. I fail. It closes out. Go back. Can't move again. Success. And then... So now we should probably set this door to locked and have it unlock when we are successful here. All right, so do we want to give the doors like an ID? And then unlock it based on the ID? The room info triggers are off. Like for the corridor? Oh, yeah, it is off. All right, well, since this is the first one we'll be unlocking, I don't think these other ones up here need an ID. Let me know if you think otherwise, but we'll give this one an ID since it needs to be locked and then unlocked. Let's see. Let's default that one to like -1. But then the specific one, cool. Yeah, this specific one, we'll set that to 0 as basically the first one. So here we'll say I guess this could be maybe in the main. Oh, let me see. No, we have a doors. Let's do doors. I guess I don't have these in a group. We're going to need a group. I know they're also in barrier, but we need a different kind of group. -1. All right. So now within the doors event, let's select doors. So if that game is passed, and if doors ID is equal to 0, and if the variable locked is true, then doors variable wait, it has a locked and an open variable. Maybe I'm using that wrong. Has it been nice working on a different project? Yeah, it really has, man. Again, you know, I love my main project, but it's definitely nice. It's a chance to kind of explore all those areas that you might not otherwise explore in a game that you're kind of entrenched in. Yeah, it's very fresh. So I'm trying to remember which one do I want to use here. Because I just had if the variable locked is true, I was going to set it to false. Should I set it to false or should I set the variable open to true? So if unlocked, yeah, we're in the doors events here. That's if the E is pressed. So otherwise, let's see. You're using a new door so you can set it up fresh. I mean, technically I kept your door and changed the sprites. Yeah, exactly. I have your angles here too. And I think in theory I could still use those. I just haven't added the vertical sprite that I want. Because instead of tweening, I'm just changing animations now, but I might still end up using that too. But yeah, you're changing the variable open, setting to true. Okay. So if the variable locked is true, so I think locked is what I want to use. No worries, man. It's also, you know, you did it well. It's late and I'm just out of it. So let's just go here to the actual event. Where was it? I'll just set the locked variable to false and see if that does the trick. I think maybe open had to do with just displaying the open animation. But we'll find out what the problems are. What problems I've created here in just a moment. So it's still showing me a green one. In fact, I think I needed to actually change that to begin with. So it's not open. And it is locked. Open was if the door was tweened to an open position. Gotcha. Okay, now it's locked. So let's see if the game unlocks it. I'm gonna have to get really good at these games. Oh no! So if the variable game bobby pin pass is true, if the variable locked of doors is true, maybe I should have done. Well, for starters, let's change this to like 1. Then I want to debug this and see which variables changed. Okay. Gonna have to go here pretty soon. So scene variables. Oh, the game bobby pin passed is not showing as true. All right, well, that's a problem. That's because I set it to false. Let's set that to true. There we go. That should do it. Come on. Boom. We got our first challenge with placeholder art. I obviously need to fix the door animations here so that it closes again, but it still exists, as you can see. All right, first challenge is implemented. We just need to fix art. Let's close out of this and save. Maybe we could fix the so these the map titles or whatever are based on triggers, right? Open was if the door was tweened to an open position. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's go to the overview here. In fact, I need to put in the reverse animation. I just don't have that yet. So I need to take the sprites and reverse them. Try to remember if Piskel does that. So if I were to go in here, does it have like a swap order? Speed -1? Let me go out to it. Oh, like with the same... I see what you're saying. Yeah, we could give that a try. Yeah, because you can't do it there. That's all right. I'll get into that tomorrow. I don't want to ruin anything. Let me see. I did want to try to fix the titles. Yeah, do action and events. You're right. But I did want to fix your titles here as we walk through. So I think that was based on triggers, right? So it looks like I must have moved those. So command center trigger. Is right here. Is this where you want the command center trigger? Make sure they're not overlapping doors. Should just be the computer room. Where is it? It's like here, but I can't grab it. Am I missing something? Oh yeah, you did lock it. So do you want me to drag that up then? Right there. Now it's not overlapping any doors. All right. Okay. So that's wait. No, that one's corridor. Yeah. Okay. Do we want two storage ones though? So corridor, command center, storage, play the game. More storage. Is this what we want? Oh, storage A and B. Um, okay. Yeah, let's do that. I think I just did that backwards. Yeah, we could just do the one to cover it all. I just thought you said not to overlap the doors, but maybe for the storage it's all right. Because I could just drag it down. Not a big deal either way. We can drag the storage B out here. Then go here. You leave a one tile gap so that the triggers don't conflict. Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll just say storage A is storage A. And storage B is storage B. Save. Play. Command center. Corridor. And I messed up the floor. Storage B, and I think I need to change. I thought I was changing the Z order of these at the start of the scene. Or was hiding the trigger. Set it to 0. That should do the trick. Alrighty. Nice and clean. I think we're on a roll now. Oh, should be able to get the rest of your games put in. Then we'll go back in and I'll get the doors and such all working. But definitely ready to get the game loop put in. Alright, man. Well, thanks so much for getting those events written out for the mini games. We'll get those into the game. It'll look good. It'll be playable. So without any ado, thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk again soon. And thanks everyone for watching. Catch you next time. And whatever it is you're working on, I hope you have fewer bugs than I do. Thanks. And yeah, that sounds good.